I have a short presentation here on 3D printing, what's it all about, what are we using it here at the library for. And then after that, we're going to get hands-on. We've got 4 computers up here that are ready to go with the different software and the websites that we use for our 3D printers. And so if you have any questions during the presentation or after we're playing around, just let me know. All right, so first things first, 3D printing. What's it all about? Well, it's defined as any various processes used to make three-dimensional objects in a very broad term. Additive processes are used in which successive layers of material are laid down under computer control. They can be formed into almost any shape or geometric figure and are produced on a 3D model or other electronic data sources. They're basically a type of robot is what the printers are. Just a couple examples. What we have the cube printers, which are these 3 here, 2 of which are currently working right now. And then we have our MakerBot, which is the black one over there, which prints a little more bigger, more detailed, different types of objects than the cube printers do. Basics of 3D printing, it involves specialized printers that heat a specific resin to its melting point and then arrange it according to a design that has been uploaded and computed into the actual file. As the resin exits the extruders, it cools very quickly and is hardened so that it's forming whatever object the object is printed. Because if it was still liquid or in its viscous state before it was forming, it would just kind of all fall down. But within half a second, it's already cooled with a touch. So that's why the objects can hold their shape like that when they're coming right out of the extruder like that. Depending on the size of the printer, you can print things from rings and small toys to bigger things like engine parts and prosthetic limbs. But not everything can be 3D printed. Our printers use a specific type of file called an STL file, which is compatible with both the MakerBot and the cubes. Some examples of some fun shapes besides the bunch of things we have here. You can make an actual guitar. We had one of our other librarians, he actually built a ukulele, and it works. He built it, it was in 4 pieces that were printed separately, and then they were soldered together, and then they had somebody come in to actually string it. And they used it for our story time, so it actually sounds just like an actual official ukulele. So it's kind of a neat little experiment that they did to write an actual musical instrument using our 3D printer. Little toys, little frogs, you have different shapes within shapes. Somebody printed one of these. It's a little square inside of the ball, which is inside of the letter shape. They printed it out exactly like this. So it's really kind of neat what these printers can do. And then they can make an object actually print inside of an object and print inside of an object like that. And you can have household goods. You can have little vases. I just printed this one out this afternoon. Little vases, or like that one there is an example of like a candle holder. You know, one of our librarians, she printed out this, put a little candle in there, and give you kind of this low light. But it's in these kind of different kind of funky shapes, so you can use them for house decorations. Some practical 3D printed objects, bike frames. You can print off of the bigger ones, which are the bigger ones than what we have here, but they can be printed off, and they are rideable. Shoes. Much cheaper than going to the store to buy. Engine parts. The 3D printers used to make engine parts actually use more of a metallic substance rather than a plastic resin like what ours use. So they're actually very durable, and they can be used, and they cost a lot less than if you were to buy a standard part that had to be shipped in and put in your car, because they can make it on site. It might take a little while because 3D print objects do take a while to print, but a lot of some of these car places are starting to take advantage of 3D printers. And prosthetic limbs, which is a newer feature of them. They put wiring and electronics in them, and they will operate just like a human hand. But because they're 3D printed, they cost a lot less. Some others. Casts. You can print out for your feet, your legs, or your arms. Some hospitals are starting to use these for that because they can be formed right there using a scanner, and the printer will start printing out right there. There's no need to wait until they put it right in the cast and it has to harden to print out right there on site. And even dentures, right, different teeth are being used in the dentist's office now to insert because they can make it all on site, and it's a lot cheaper to use than the way they usually put in like crowns and whatnot. Some of the websites that we use here at the RCPL library, we use Cubify.com. It's what the cubes use. You can access it from anywhere if you have your computer. You can go through the different sites. We have one up here that you guys can download a little bit later here. Website's up. You can explore different shapes, different items that to print. A lot of these ones here that are printed right now are already on the website. So we've got to download some sticks here so we can quick print these for anybody who wants. Who comes in and says, I'd like that, and then it's 15 cents an ounce. So like your logo keychain piece here is 15 cents, I believe. Whereas the bigger ones like the rabbits are about $1.50. It's all based on the weight of the object.
What about that skull over there?
Which one? The skull? Let's see. I made this one. I think it was right around 2.5. Most of the weight this is in the back. Even I say weight pretty generally because these are extremely light. But this one here probably weighs, it's weighed about 10 grams, a little more, over 10 grams. It's mostly files like little trinkets, toys, smaller objects that you can print off. You can print little robots with blaster guns that are articulating, spaceships, rocket ships, that kind of thing. Doesn't require any experience. It's where most of us learn how to kind of start using the 3D printers. We're just through the website. It's pretty easy to get to know how to use it. And if you want to actually print it out in a print file, you have to download some software that's available through the website that you download. It doesn't cost anything. So you can actually manipulate the object, shrink it, make it bigger, center it before you print it. Thingiverse, which one of the other computers over there has got on it, is compatible with both the printers as well as a couple other ones. It has a very large selection of, there's thousands of different items that you can print off on Thingiverse. But they can be both for fun and for practical purposes, depending on what you want. Sometimes nice to jam up on this. And Tinkercad.com is a bit more advanced, but it allows you to create and manipulate different shapes or add on to different shapes. Tinkercad is on one of those computers over there. You can actually bring in, like, say, if you were bringing like if you brought in one of the bunny files, you can actually like add on, like make it bigger, add on like wings, horns if you wanted to make him a little more evil looking. But there's ways to manipulate objects with that particular website. And the software downloads that we use. The MakerBot has its own different kind of software. It's up on this computer right now, and what it allows you to is you can double the objects. You can resize them. You can rotate it. You can add supports and wrap. Some of these things, when they're printing, if they were to print it without anything support, like if there was like a gap, like if this printed all in one piece, it would need a gap. It would need to have something here. If it was printed this way, it would all fall over onto itself. So there has to be supports in here in order to give it structure, so that once it's all done printing, they just go in there with like a little knife or your fingers, and you can actually just pull off the supports, so you got just a little bit of shape. Meshmixer, which is on this one, is another software download that lets you manipulate the objects. It uses the SD files as well. You can do this kind of the same thing as you did with Tinkercad. You can add things, you can subtract things, you can make different shapes. And then save it as an STL file, and then it gets transferred over to the MakerBots in order to print those off. Some of the advantages of 3D printing. Cheap manufacturing costs, besides the initial cost to purchase the actual machine. Means lower prices, like if you were at the dentist's office or at the car dealership, or at the car repair place. You know, if they're printing stuff off on site and not order it, it saves time and it saves money. Now, quick production is less time waiting for parts. Kind of goes with the whole making things in house. You don't have to wait for things to ship to you anymore. You can just have somebody print it off right there on site. Sustainability. There's less waste than traditional manufacturing of metal and plastic pieces, meaning that it's a lot more cost effective as well as being a little more eco-friendly. Better quality products with a longer productive life. The bigger ones that can print off like car parts and aircraft engine parts now that I've seen those now too. Those ones are printing in a very high quality resin. It's usually against more metal based because plastic wouldn't survive with glass in those very long at all. But they're very tough. They're very durable. They last a long time. Accessibility. A lot of places in the country are starting to use them. I'm not familiar with any place in town here yet that is, but it won't surprise me if some auto place or dentist comes up with prison. Actually, I think there might be one dentist in town that's actually using 3D printers to print molar or different teeth and whatnot. You can create new shapes just from manipulation. I mean, most of these shapes you've never seen before until you actually get in there and start using a little creativity, just making different forms and just kind of playing around with different shapes that are beyond. You can make a circle and making kind of a weird shape. And the combinations of material, which is what I was talking before about the place using more of a metal mixture, it would be a lot stronger than say steel or any other kind of products like that. This is an example of a larger 3D printer. This would be what you'd use for more like car parts, that sort of thing. And those are $10,000 plus for something that size. And our Chaos Makerspace, which is what there's all construction work going on right now in the back. You've been seeing that we've had that dirt back in now, plus with the 3D printers we've had. Makerspaces are our new training libraries right now. They're designed to encourage people to come to them to get experience in creating and making their own projects using library resources. They're defined as a community center that provides technology, manufacturing equipment, and educational opportunities to the public. And that's our official logo for our Chaos Makerspace, which is creative, hands-on, artistic, original space for short, or just Chaos for short. Construction is currently underway in our old garage back here. We're going to have, once it's built, it becomes our permanent location. We're going to have 3D printers there. We're going to have all kinds of different things. We're going to have places to work on circuitry, places for woodworking, and arts and crafts projects. We're going to have a whole range of different things. Drop-in programs, movie creation, editing, photo editing. There's a whole lot of stuff we can do with it once the space is actually completed. And like we were saying before, our Maker Fair, which is coming to a demonstration of things we're going to be doing in our Makerspace eventually, is on Saturday, August 8th. So if you're around, make sure you come by and take a look at it. It should be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of stuff out here on 7th with us in the Doll, and we're going to have with 3D printers and other things inside here because they have to have either a little bit of temperature control, otherwise they won't form a print. So we can't put them outside. But that's for the presentation. Any questions before we get into the computers?
You mentioned a little bit about using metal. I guess I was just curious about the materials.
Well, because this is what we have here, but in order to, I know just from kind of a little bit of research I've done on when they're making like auto parts and aircraft engine parts, it is more of it's like a metallic, it's a combination of different metals that comes out that can be melted, and then it forms hard when it starts coming out like these do. But I've heard it's extremely strong because of how these are layered, so they can withstand like heat and road wear and tear on them.
So how much do some of these run?
Well, we got these through a grant. But I think these run anywhere from $400 to $600, and I think the maker bot was closer to $2,000. And then depending on how big you want, what you want to do with them, the price just goes up as you get bigger and bigger.
How long does some of these take?
Well, like the ring here that I just printed was 17 minutes. versus say, like the base here took 3 hours, and the different parts of our makerspace mascot here took anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. The head took longer to build just because it's more of a solid object. And the inside of this thing is kind of a honeycomb pattern that gives it strength and stability. But yeah, and there's some bigger projects that can take anywhere from 8 to 14, 15 hours. And we have a dredging we're going to print tonight before we close. It's 11 hours for a gentleman who came in with he saw the file and the universe and wanted to want.
So how do you manage that when people come in and make stuff? Because somebody's not going to probably stay in line.
Yeah, we have a queue that we put your name and your phone number into, and then we'll just call you if you don't want to stick. Like most, quicker jobs like this don't take as long. But say like if you want to print a vase or a candle holder or something like that nature, we'll just call you. On our quick prints, yes, but if the object is made on the MakerBot, we can find that for you just because that gives us weight in grams, so we can pay for it right there, or we can wait until we get it and pay for it then too.
I may have missed it at the very beginning, but did you talk about the history at all? Like when did they actually start?
No, I didn't go into any history. No,
I mean, I'm sure it's a short history, but
yeah,
I was curious like when.
It's probably not more
when
than
and where
more than 4 or 5 years old, I bet. At least where it's more general use.
I see you have go ahead. I see you have a cup sitting over there. Can you make
drink out of it?
something that you can, that's people safe and dishwasher safe and stuff like that?
I did find out a little bit of one of the disadvantages. Some of the material they don't recommend drinking out of. Ours, the PLA style, which is what the MakerBot prints out in, and some of the files on this one. That one is safer, but I would probably, if I were to drink it, I mean, you're probably okay if you just drink it out once in a while, but if you use it like all the time, the material might break down eventually, or there might be something in the resin that might not be best for you. But if you like, put some kind of safe lacquer or something in it, to make it stronger, more waterproof, probably work that. So. Mostly for decoration right now. But.
Is there any online courses? I know they teach courses at Untitled Chapter for some of their tech programs. I don't know what probably much bigger machines than these, but is there something the high school kid could do online to get familiar with it?
Well, as far as actual courses, I haven't seen it yet. I did try to search for some here a couple days ago, but I didn't find anything besides kind of just going to individual websites and reading up on them, like Untitled or Thingiverse. That's kind of the best place to get some first-hand knowledge, to go to the actual websites and just kind of the best thing to do is just to tinker around on them. You can't really change the objects on like Thingiverse or QFI.com. They're there. People have built them and they've made them available for free, or some places something to charge if you want to build their design. We usually try and find free things to print here. Nobody's requested us to try and how to order it and try to pay for any of the prints that are on there, so we're always looking for free ones. But yeah, those are the best way. The files that are on here can be saved, then you can either bring them into here to us, and you can get them on here to use, or you can always just point them out to us and we can find these, because they have both QFI and Thingiverse have search menus on them. Well, yeah, the octopus here, he was printed out in 2 colors. The purple was printed out, and then the white was printed out. But ours don't have the ability to splice different colors in during the actual print. They can only do one color at a time. So like this one here was printed. They printed all the white was printed at the same time, and all the purple was printed. And it was just all printed together.
So they just snap together?
Yeah, they just snap together, and they've got full articulation.
So what's the process if you wanted to come as a library assistant and use it?
Well, you just, our maker, currently the 3D printers are housed in the solarium down here while we've got construction going on over where it used to be. So all you gotta do is come in, you can grab one of us. You just come in and just sit down on the computer. We've got the 2 computers that are always set up down there. So you can get on the websites, Qify or Thingiverse, and Meshmixer and Tinkercad are already installed in these ones as well. So you can get on there and just play around, or if you're looking for a particular shape, we can kind of show you kind of how to search in the different websites. We've got somebody on at a table now during our open hours, doing little pop-in projects here and there. Like today was little dot painting for like kids. Tomorrow we're doing Arduino, which is kind of beaming circuitry, kind of learning how using circuit to turn on a light, and kind of how it works. Little things like that here. But they're always just put that table down and they help out with any 3D printing questions you got. You can just come in anytime we're open, print something off. Anything else? What's that?
I didn't understand.
It's 15 cents a gram. So yeah, I mean like the rings are 15 cents, they're only a gram. Versus bigger things, which are, I mean, the robots that we print out, the little robots have little guns, those are like $4.50.
So they pay for it, yeah.
What's that?
So that the individual would pay for it, yeah, the process.
Yeah, you can either pay for it before, as the quick prints are already got their prices. I didn't bring them up here unfortunately, but it's mostly like the bears, the buttons, little flowers over there, the rings. The bigger stages, but you can either pay for it as it's printing, or you can come and get it and pay for it later if you want. So either way is okay.
You just pay for it, that's the front desk.
Yeah, it's front desk, yeah. And sometimes, I mean, it's not a perfect process by any means. We do have a board print, we do have prints that don't come out very well all the time. Sometimes things like this, where it just keeps shutting, it just wants to keep jamming on you, but you keep removing it, eventually it'll print out. But it's not a perfect process by any means, but usually, unless you try if we try 3 times, if it messes up twice, we usually don't charge for the material that was lost. But if you really want it the 3rd time, usually if it's ever happens again after 3 times, then we usually start charging for the extra green. Because by that time it's taking a lot of filament to try and get it to get green. Most things can print off within 1 or 2 time tries.
And you can pick your colors, right?
Yep, you pick the colors. We've got the cube. The cube uses those white film holders. We've got brown, black, blue, green. We've got some more colors coming in, like orange and red. Silver. And then we have and then downstairs the MakerBot uses green and red, purple, blue, white. But fun thing for me is that trying to do these prints was, well, I mean the little toys are always fun, but what's something that I can actually use? And I'm a pretty big fisherman. I found some different things that they're making with 3D printers for fishing stuff, like treble hook guards for fishing lures. So you don't have to worry about stabbing yourself in the hand now, or even being tangled up in a tackle box. So for me, that was pretty nifty. They took like 7 minutes to make, for one. Or like crankbaits. I printed off this one a couple weeks ago, and I can actually put hooks in it, connect it together, and paint it like the colors that I want. It's pretty light, so I can't really cast it very well, but I can control it pretty good. But that's something like that. That's kind of more for practical for me. Something like that was really neat. Or like hook holders and our extractors. Like in a little fish's mouth, I can use this to get it down and pop the hook out. So just little practical things like that, are pretty good just to me. But it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. But most of these things are in Thingiverse, where you can find a lot more than just the little toys. So that's the website I always say to go to if you want to look for something to practically use.
What's real?
Well, I'm actually not sure. Our business office orders them. I'm not sure what they cost. Whenever we run out of color, we just take it in there and then we order it. Turnaround usually about 2 to 3 weeks when we order color, so it's not the fastest process. So we start with and the start running, and you can check the status of how much is left in like the cubes here, for instance, just in the settings. These are all touch screen. So you can kind of see how much is left because each one of these ones has got a little metal reader underneath it here, and that's how the printer knows how much there's enough filament left in it for project to do.
If it runs out mid-print, can you just
Start it.
going?
That can. These not just keep. Once it runs out, you have to reload it, and it's totally forgotten.
Is there a way to know before you start it?
If it doesn't have enough filament in it, the cube actually won't print it. It'll tell you not enough filament on the screen, so it won't let you print it unless there's enough filament.
One more question. Do you have a sense of, like, among other libraries, are you guys like ahead of the curve by having these already?
By having a makerspace, we are ahead of the curve. I think the only other place in the state that might have 3D prints is possibly Sioux Falls. I know Aberdeen, for instance, Aberdeen's trying to build a new library right now. I think that's something they might have if they do get it built. That's something they might have in the future too. I know one of the librarians who works there, and she likes to get ideas for different things for their library if they get it built. So, I think us and maybe Sioux Falls are the ones that state they're currently big makerspaces.
I'm unfamiliar with the garage. How big is your new space?
Well, the garage is, I haven't seen the designs yet, but the garage itself is pretty big. We can hold a lot. And that's where all the tools and the Friends of Library books and the van and everything are stored. So it's got some room. I don't know if they're going to plan on putting on the roof or anything a little bit lower, but yeah, there's plenty of space back there for us to hold a lot of different things.
Do the schools in the area have 3D printers?
No, I haven't. We've had a lot of high schoolers come in and want something printed. The biggest ours because they don't think their printers have their closest time yet. Is that?
Other than tech, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe tech.
Just have it
Maybe
for a while.
tech. Probably the only one that might have something.
How many people can we get in that?
Well, in the one downstairs, it's in the solarium, so I guess maybe those you can fit in there. We've got two computers. We've got and they're up and running with different softwares and different websites. We've got 2 cubes that are working, plus the MakerBot. So we're doing three prints at once.
I wanted to make a bus for my version, a small bus.
Well, I think there's actually a bust out there in the universe. I don't think anybody's tried to make it yet, or at least we haven't tried to make it yet. But I think we're just search for how much probably something out there. And the universe only works on that printer. The Cubify is only one we can out with, so we're a little more limited. But it was nice for us to get that grant, so we actually have a few extra printers to print off different things to show how it works.
Who gives grants like that? Where did you get it?
Oh, it's through Dr. Grant.
Danielle, but I'm not sure.
One of our supervisors put in for the grant through, I can't remember what the organization was, but it was just announced in March that we won this grant, and we got these three. So I'm not sure if it was a library. I think it might have been like a makerspace organization, a national organization. Because of our idea, because they liked our ideas of us building the one and what we're planning on doing with it. So she said that was one of the reasons why we won the grant, because of what we're going to do with it.
Who's going to maintain these?
We do. We do. We have. Occasionally the extruders clog up with because we print a lot of stuff. Sometimes they clog up, so we have to take them apart and get in there. Sometimes we have to order parts through the individual companies. That again, if we have an issue with the part, we take it to this office and they will contact for us to get the extra parts that we need. But otherwise, we usually do most of the general needs.
What's going to be the age?
Well, you guys, it just kind of depends on what you, there's no way to age limit to what you want to print. It's just a matter of what you can literally want to find on the websites or design on the software.
I know a lot of parents come in with their children.
Yeah. For the kids and grandkids, yeah, they'll come by and they'll see stuff being printed. They'll take down, if they want something printed, it's going to take longer than a half hour, and they'll just take down the number and contact us and it's done.
It's a good stack of boxes. There's a Sam's Club the other day, and all this in there.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's not the price.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Was it like this?
I think so.
I guess we're probably closer to that.
Yeah. But I did, well, I was in the market, so I didn't look what the price was, but I just saw a stack of them.
This is like, sounds like it's kind of at a toy level right now, but is it like
At our level, yes.
in the future, kids learn this now, but in 15 years we might have like professions.
They very well could, yes. I mean, I said there's already places that are building actual, engine parts for airplanes, for cars.
Whereas the first computers were like toys.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
it's everything.
I mean, as the technology gets more refined and it's cheaper, they're going to build newer things. There'll be new things available to print. Who knows? Somebody might come up with a new idea for things that can be 3D printed that will, really make the industry even more popular. And everybody will want to get on that.
So it's an NPR article just this last week about food manufacturers getting into it. And they're starting with chocolate because it tends to, you can liquefy it and harden it.
Yeah.
So they're practicing it. And supposedly like the military is looking into it because you could actually heat it and cook it at the time it came out. And all kinds of people are looking into it for food. It's frightening, isn't
Happy
it?
day.
Shapes out of chocolate.
Well, that's what they're starting with now, but they're looking at all kinds of like, because it comes out heated, so you can actually cook it at the time that the particles come through and be extruded.
So should we probably get started before
Yeah.
we run out of time?
All right, so if you guys can bring your chair, if you want to get the computers, go ahead and bring your chairs up. This one here, I've got Cubify, and Cubify up. This one here has the Meshmixer. You can actually just import the different shapes that are already on here. We have a rabbit, circles. And over here we have, this one here has Tinkercad on it. You can select different menus on the side. You can pick different shapes, different patterns. This one here is a thing verse. You can look for different things that you want.